how were guys cooking meals if they didn't have the microwave?
Well, they take a fingernail clipper. Okay, so let's get a plate. As you said, it was a good idea. Am I okay with a knife? No, I don't need jump. That's what I need. I need to get me some good knives.
Yeah, I think that's the last thing you need.
Only for cooking.
So if anybody's looking for Danny's Christmas wish list,
I need some knives.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show, or better yet, I should say, welcome to Danny's Kitchen. Danny, thank you for having us over, man.
You're welcome, always. It's a pleasure.
Obviously, you guys can tell we're going to be doing some prison cooking today. Danny is going to be showing us how to make a prison meal that he used to make while he was locked up. But before we get into that, Danny, I want to talk just a little bit about, what's been going on with you. One major thing to talk about is the fact that you just had another accident with the moped.
Yeah, I was lucky to be alive. I mean, I may not have scratches, but I got serious bruises in the upper torso, my body, shoulder, neck, back. When it went down, I couldn't breathe. The pain was so powerful that the guys that came out the car to help me, I just said, listen, just pick up the bike, and I just walked away from the pain. I didn't want nobody to see me in pain, but I was crying. That's how painful it was.
Now, I mean, what happened though?
Oh, well, I was traveling in a little mall, and
like a shopping center.
Like a shopping center, and I'm cutting through, and this guy jumped in front of me to avoid collision. My first reaction was to hit the brakes, but once again, sometimes you can't control your hands, and apparently I realized that I hit the front brake a little bit more than the back brakes because I needed that quick stop.
Yeah.
And so I guess my tire went underneath me again. This is the second time with my tire going underneath me. And now I realize why you really need a helmet, because my head hit that ground, and if it wasn't for the helmet, I wouldn't be here today. That's what I'm saying. I'm lucky for that.
And we talked about that when you first got the moped, just how dangerous it is riding that.
Yeah.
This is the second accident you've had where you've fallen off the bike.
Yeah.
But it's not the only incident that's taking place.
No.
I mean, every day you're dealing with people either cutting you off, jumping in front of you.
Road rage, yeah, and that's the problem with today. I had a guy who was going to work, and he was up my tail. I was going 35. I mean, that's the fastest the moped goes, and the limit is 35.
Yeah.
This guy must have been traveling like 50. He was in a rush, and he was basically, his bumper hit my back tire. And he was waving his middle finger at me and yelling at me and everything. He actually pulled over because he wanted some drama with me.
But you don't need those type of problems, so you just gotta...
But it made me understand a little bit more about road rage and how people is. You gotta be very careful.
But the good thing is though you did have this second accident,
yeah.
You're okay. You had to miss work today because you're not feeling well, and you are sore.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate you taking the time to rock with us today.
Oh, without question.
And let us come over here and make some lunch with you.
Without question. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for being concerned. But yeah, I'm just sore. I've been working it out by doing a little stretching, hot water, massages. I'm about to see a doctor friend tonight to give me a body alignment, because I think kind of my bones kind of like...
Body alignment, was that?
It's like a chiropractor.
Okay.
What happens when you take an impact, a quick impact at such a force, you throw your bones off and you hurt it. That's where the bruise comes in. Sometimes you might need that body alignment and that crack.
I want to say something too, Danny, and I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but as you get older, these little bumps and things.
Oh, without question.
You could have taken this same fall, 20 years ago, and it wouldn't affect you the way that it affects you today.
Yeah.
And the reason I bring that up is because, just over the weekend, I was fixing a screw underneath my cabinet, just a screw, and I slipped a disc in my back. I swear my back hurts so bad today.
Joe, you just gave us a sign of old age. Hey, there you go. No, it's true. It's true. They say that younger people they can heal better, faster, their bones. I don't drink milk because I'm lactose intolerant. So that's probably why I'm having problems with my bone and my kneecap. I need surgery because the bone is deteriorating. It's my fault because they do have substitute. They got vitamin D that I can take. I just can't drink milk. And for so many years, I noticed my bones change a lot in my structure, because I used to lift weights.
Yeah,
we showed pictures.
Yeah, pictures.
I can't do that no more. I can't even lift 5 pounds without throwing my back out. And it's probably got to do with that, with the vitamin D. But I'm here. I'm with you guys, and today we're gonna prepare, as Joe said, we're gonna prepare a prison meal. I'm gonna introduce you to the items.
Yeah, absolutely. And real quick before we introduce the items, what exactly are we gonna be making today?
I really never gave it a name, but I would say probably a high protein salad. That's what I would call it, a protein salad.
Sort of like
meal.
a tuna salad or something like that.
It's a tuna pepperoni salad. Because we're combining two meats together. I know people say, well, how does tuna taste with pepperoni? I tell you what, it tastes delicious. And we're going to introduce you to the items now. Okay, first we're going to start off with, of course, chicken noodles. This is the only thing they sell there. Of course, we smiling. We got chicken noodles. We got the pickles, and we're using the hot pickles, which adds more additional flavor to it. We have the abacourt tuna. We're using 3. We're gonna make a tuna fish, very tunery, if there's a word for that. We got the tomatoes. We have the mayonnaise, of course, and we have the pepperoni, and we got the wraps right here.
Yeah, this video is actually brought to you by Guerrero Wraps. They got my name on these things. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's right too. That's right. I didn't realize that. Yeah.
So these are the ingredients that we're going to be using. We also have a sleeve of crackers over here as well. Yeah. And between either the wrap or the crackers.
Or bread, you can use also make it into a sandwich. All 3, it doesn't matter, whatever you prefer.
Right, those are the 3 different ways that you can eat this.
Of course. And you can eat it plain too. You don't need none of this.
Of course.
This meal, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
This meal here is good. Why? Because when I used to work out, I would come and eat one of these. Prison food is not, a lot of it is not healthy. And
none of it is.
Yeah, really. And it's got a lot of sodium and grease. And so the only thing that I can find, because at that time I was having a lot of cholesterol problems, pepperoni may be the highest cholesterol, but what you do is you cut down on your dosage.
So you just don't use much of it.
Exactly, like you normally would. Me, I use the whole package. I didn't.
And you're locked up. You want that good taste with that protein.
Yeah,
just like you mentioned, the food that you're going to be eating out of the chow hall, it's going to be horrible.
Exactly.
Or whatever they're bringing to your cell, it's going to be horrible. So when you get the opportunity to eat something good like this, some tuna, some pepperoni, you got some tomato, who cares? Who cares about the health factor? You want something that tastes good. Yeah. I want to ask you one question, Danny. Did they sell pickles like this while you were locked up?
Yeah, they do sell pickles like this. Exactly the same, in the same packaging. Just the same style, of course.
The tuna
same
fish?
tuna. They have the same tuna. They have the same wraps. Tomatoes were special. You had to order them from the kitchen very quietly, and you can't get caught. You know what's funny? I pulled out the hamburger. I was going to take a prison meal and turn it into a kind of a modern day meal.
Like a homemade meal.
Yeah, and what it was going to consist of is with these, hamburger in a nice flavor sauce with sazon, a little Latin style to it, with corn.
Oh, well, you know what? That's the next cooking video. So if you guys enjoy this one, that's what we're going to do next. Yeah. But we're going to work on this tuna salad for right now. And Danny, what's the first thing that we need to do with this?
Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to prepare the noodles. While this noodles preparing, we're going to get everything ready, chopped up. And what we do the mix. And when we do the mix, it prepared. It's probably like a quick 15-minute meal. The longest is this.
Just cooking those.
Yeah, and another thing about this, you can't let it sit in the water. You have, if the way you got to make this, you got to make this come out like a stroganoff spaghetti, like a real spaghetti. Because if you let it soak, what happens, it gets saturated. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Well, it gets soggy.
Yeah, it gets soggy. That's what I'm looking for. It gets soggy and it has a different taste. But if you're doing it that way, there are meals that you can make that way. In this particular case, you don't need it because what happens, you're going to have a mashed potato type of salad. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And see, that's something that we talked about prior when Dave is actually sitting over here in the corner. Dave, say hello.
Hello.
He's over there. Dave's on timeout right now. I'm kidding. We just ain't got a lot of room right here. But
he's back.
Yeah, this is your first time seeing him since he's been sick. And real quick, Danny, I got to address one situation. What did you think when you saw that video saying that I fired Dave?
Oh, listen, my sister called me. Listen, she called me from a long distance. She says, "What's going on with Joe? What is he, losing his mind? What did David do?" I said, "Sis, what are you talking about?" She said, "No, he fired him." I said, "What?" I said, "Hold on, let me investigate this." So I turned around and contacted Joe, and Joe told me that it was a joke. I said, "Oh." I said, "What did Dave do this time?" You know what I mean? Dave probably stole this. You know what I said?
I don't mean to cut into that.
I can't laugh.
What do you mean, what did Dave do this time?
Oh,
What you
man.
tell them?
Don't be making the man laugh. He's already got chest pains as
my
it is.
chest hurt when I laugh and cough. But let me. I want to say something. And I said, man, he must have stole his burrito. That's what happened. Joe got mad and fight him.
Look, no more laughing, Danny. You're injured. You're on injured reserve right now.
That did hurt.
I want to talk about one thing in relation to these noodles before we begin, and that is, we've made a lot of different prison meals here on After Prison Show. There's so many different ways that you go about preparing these noodles that definitely come into play with all sorts of different prison meals.
Exactly.
I guess what I'm trying to say, the short of it is, when we cook prison meals, for the most part, we're crushing up the noodles. That's not something that you do. You're cooking those noodles just the way that they are.
Actually, I can crush them. I normally do.
Oh, you do crush them?
Yeah. The problem is we're not crushing them. It's when you eat them in a burrito, in the mayonnaise. What happens? It comes right off and it's all over you.
Okay, so you are crushing them.
Yeah. So I'm crushing them in order to make the meal neater. It doesn't go all over the place.
Okay.
Some people like them long. It doesn't matter how you do it. You know, I want to emphasize something that you just earlier that you did. Joe brought some more ingredients, and he bought summer sausage. What was the other one?
Oh, the little smoky sausage bites.
Yes, that. And let me explain something to you. This could have been turned into a meat lover, and it can be used. You can use sausage. You can use with all this. You can pretty much create. You can even put more vegetables. You can put onions. You can put green peppers. Once again, we get that in prison, but we have to get underneath the...
You got to know somebody to get it.
And it costs 5 cents a piece. But so I'm just letting you know that there is a variety, as Joe said, to make this. I just prefer this because this meal here is very tasty, and I got a taste to it. And believe it or not, every time I made it and I shared it with the population, I've even one time cooked for the entire block, and there's 120 guys. And they asked me, what is it? And I taste the tuna, I taste the fish. And what it is when you bite every single piece of items that you put in here, you can taste every item itself. It's not a blend taste, but you can taste the tomatoes, you can taste the tuna, you can taste the pepperoni, and it's just the taste, and then the mayonnaise is what really brings the whole, everything into one beautiful meal.
And that's something else too, because sometimes when we make meals, we just mix a whole bunch of stuff together, and you're just tasting a whole bunch of stuff all at once. But Danny, let's go ahead and get into this. And you said the first thing that we're going to do, we're going to crush these noodles up, and then we're cooking these?
Exactly, right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring, you can crush them for me. I'm going to grab the pan here. Here's the pan we're going to use.
Now, obviously, in prison, you're not going to have no pot.
Well, normally what they do is they sell big plastic bowls and covering. I have some, but they're not big enough to take 4 soups. So we're just going to put it here, and we're going to boil it to a point where it starts cooking. It boils very quick. I let it boil maybe an extra 5 minutes to turn that into like a hard type of noodle and not a soggy one.
Okay. And you said that, did they have microwaves while you were in prison, or did you guys have like hot plates and hot pots?
They have microwaves, but towards, I think it's 2016, they started taking them out. Some of the institutions allowed to keep the microwave, but once they break, they were gone. So what happened is guys kept repairing it like I would do the repairing very quietly. Once again, we didn't have permission to do that. I used to fix microwaves, but they found out that it was giving radiation cancer.
Wow.
And I did it for years, and they kept it quiet. So when I went back to electrical work, and I offered to fix all the microwave for free as a favor to the institution, in fact, even the warden gave me a bonus because I saved them a lot of money.
Now, why were they taking the microwaves? Were they taking them because guys were heating up the water and throwing it on people?
Yeah, they were accusing that inmates were taking them and throwing them at the police, and really we didn't see anybody get burnt with them. As long as I've been there, I've never heard of another inmate or convict, whichever it may be. We got inmates, we got convict, there's a difference. I never heard of anybody getting hit with hot water in the face with oil. Now, it's been stories about it, and I've heard it. And I've heard it from both sides, from staff and convicts. So I know it's true, but where I was at never happened. But because of that, what happens is they have a method. It's called modification behavior. If you do something, everybody else get punished so that they hope that the population come and hurt you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I believe that the last place, they took out the last microwave as I left. That was in 2017. Yeah, because it was towards the end of 2017. I think I got out by December or January 2018. In fact, I think it was January 16th, 2018. I got out.
So how were guys cooking meals if they didn't have the microwave?
Well, they take a fingernail clipper and they make stingers. Electrical, which is dangerous, but if you know how to do it, you put a piece of plastic in between. You break the fingernails, you make it into 2 pieces. You put a piece of plastic there. You put one wire on one end, one wire on the other end. You put it in there, but depending on you got to put salt in the water because it causes a short circuit. But what happened was the administration caught on. So what happens is when they turn off the power, whatever cell or area, they will keep it off and they will punish that individual until somebody admitted who was the one that had the stinger.
Wow.
But they were getting it done. They were getting nice stingers done, you know, by other people who worked in different areas who were able to get that type of material.
See, I didn't know that. I thought that I knew what the stinger was, where you could just strip the wires and put them in the. Yeah. You can't just strip the wires and put them in the water.
Oh no! You got to put it's a conductor.
Okay.
It's called a conductor, or as they say, a load. It's like this light is a load. It's got wires, but it won't work unless you put a load on it. That means something that the current goes in and is used for
to
produce heat or light.
Clipper.
Exactly. Now, another thing too, what they really did is they put water at 180 degrees.
Oh, so they got the hot water coming out the sink.
But the problem is they accuse of people burning people again, so they turned it down to 150. So now the problem with 150 is it doesn't even cook a soup.
Yeah.
By the time you get it in and it's soaking, the soup is cold.
Yeah.
So it became very difficult, and it is difficult now to cook. It is. And it's hard because they sell items that you need to cook, and that's the biggest thing right now they have in. And that's probably part of that prison protest that you did. You did a program on that.
So how many seasoning packs do you want to put in?
Honestly, because of the sodium on this content, because they do sell, by the way, they do sell the soup with low sodium, and you should, depending on your health, you can spoil yourself, of course, for a couple of meals, but after that, I advise you to try to keep your health. So yeah, they got the low sodium. I would probably, the amount here, probably 2, maybe 2.5.
I think 2 is probably.
Okay. Because that chicken flavor also has a lot to do with the flavor to bring it out with the mayonnaise and everything.
Okay.
So yeah, we can do 2. No, we're not yet. We got to cook it first. Yeah. Okay. So that's what we do. We'll go put water in. We'll probably put about 1/3 of water right about here, and we'll let it boil.
All right. So you're heating up the water right now. You got your bowl.
Yeah. Right here. This is something different.
What you got over there? You got something else?
Well, actually, I cook bacon, and because sometimes bacon burns in the bottom. What I do is I boil it with the grease to loosen it up, so when I scrub it and clean it, it's easy to clean.
Okay. Danny got some kitchen some kitchen tips, some kitchen hacks.
Yeah, it's just easier because you know what happened when you're scraping with Brillo pads, you scrape the
finish off the bottom.
Yes, and what happens and everything starts sticking because now you're hitting metal. Okay, so let's get a plate. As you said, it was a good idea. Am I okay with a knife? No, only joking.
Boy, I told you, Dan. Look, let me say something.
Yeah.
I said we were going to do a video called Cooking with a Killer.
Yeah.
Okay? And I wanted you to be telling some stories, right? While you're cutting up that tomato.
Yeah. I'm not even, according to what, I'm not even allowed to have a work razor. How's that? Unbelievable. And I'm a nice guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so we're going to prep the ingredients while the noodles cook back here. We're going to have to keep an eye on those as well.
Yeah. You can put this over here on the side because we're going to be needing it. One for you, one for me. Okay. I'm going to give you this plate. And what you can do is, trying to figure out, you can take the pickle.
Cut that up.
Drain the juice because we ain't going to need it. And we're going to use the whole pickle.
Okay.
Okay, and just chop it up. As what I do is, I'm sure you know, I cut it in 4 slices and and dice it that way.
Okay.
So you can begin by, and you can use this to cut it up. I'll get a plate and start cutting the pepperoni. And
boy, that probably brings back some horrible memories.
That's real pickle. Okay.
Smells just like prison.
Oh man.
I usually make a lot of jokes while filming cooking videos about certain stupid things. I'm not going to do that today. We're going to keep this as, we're going to keep this relatively serious. We got Danny here. Danny's a serious guy. But it is good to have you doing this with us.
Yeah.
And, to see a whole different side of you. To see a type of meal that you would make while locked up. To see you smiling even though you're dealing with some injuries too. So, Danny, I can't thank you enough for taking the time.
Oh, no problem. And I want to share something with you. I come from a family that they're cooks. My family have restaurants, gourmet restaurants, Polynesian food, all types of food. So I grew up around, especially my mom, where I used to watch her cook.
Right.
So I've always had the talent to cook, and I always loved cooking. 40 years did not dull my memory of cooking. And, it's crazy because I see people measuring ingredients, spices.
Right.
And I come over here and I pour it like this, and I know exactly what it needs.
That's made with love right there. That's not made with a recipe.
And it's just, and it comes out perfect. I try to keep the spices down simply because, as you said, old age. The sodium and the health-wise, but I also get heartburn, so I can't deal with spices as I used to like one time.
Now let me ask you this, Danny. I don't mean to cut you off. Let's talk about cooking while locked up. You're making a meal. No matter the type of a situation you might be dealing with, you dealt with so much crazy stuff while you were in prison.
Yeah.
Does cooking in any way kind of like take you out of that place for a little bit? Does it give you something else to focus on? Does it offer any kind of like relaxed, a moment for you to be able to relax, or is that just not the case?
I'll be honest with you. Cooking there was a problem because you only have 2 microwaves. You got 120 people.
So there were a lot of arguments.
There's a lot of arguments, fights. You always had to be on point and on guard.
Somebody could try to steal your food.
I've seen a guy come up and take the dude's food out of the microwave and threw it on the floor. It caused a big riot. In fact, in California. I was up in Victorville, and that's what started the racial war up there.
All behind the microwave.
Yeah, because it started with 2 different people. They didn't like each other. The Mexicans and the brothers don't like each other out there. The brother didn't like the Mexican. There was a disrespect involved. He took his food, threw it on the floor, and we went to a war for 2 days on the yard. And it was a bloody war, of course, and it was over something stupid. And really, honestly, it was the way how it was handled. It was the way the words that were said.
A lot of disrespect.
To increase the problem. So yeah, there's always a problem there with everything you do. Even showers. To take a shower, once again, there's a line. Some people want to control it. Some people want you to pay taxes.
Just to take a shower.
Just take a shower, yeah. You give me 3 books of stamps and you can use these showers. If not, wash up in your... So it depends where you at. And what facility you at and the type of people around it. Unfortunately, nothing is pleasant in prison. It's just the way of life there. I enjoyed once I was in the room when I felt okay, my food was done.
You were safe. You were out of.
I enjoyed it then, but no, when I'm doing the process, I was really stressed out because I wanted to get it over with as soon as possible with minimum issue. I never had a problem personally. I've never had a problem with the microwave. I've never had a problem. I'm the type of guy who had patience and waited. You got people who's cutting line. They don't, you know what I mean? Even out here. And so you have that ignorance everywhere. It's not just in prison. You see it more in prison because you got younger guys.
Well, you can see it a lot out here too because nobody's experienced that type of a life, or people who haven't experienced that type of a life, they don't understand that respect issue.
This is I call this the Spanish rice and bean spoon.
Oh yeah?
But no. I thought I was being funny. I guess not. That was kind of corny, wasn't it? Popping somebody with it. Yeah.
There's a word for it, dude. It's called cringe.
Cringe. Oh yeah.
So it's when you think it's funny and it's not. It's a new word.
It's cringe.
We're gonna have to do a video teaching you all the new lingo, the way the young folks talk these days. It's still. I'm still learning it myself. All right, so we're gonna chop up some tomatoes. The noodles are cooking. They should be almost done. They're boiling back here,
Yeah,
Danny.
they need to boil. They need to get really boiling. And they change colors too. You see how it started to change color? It has a different, you see? It's still got to boil. Still got to boil more.
All right.
Okay. You can tell when it starts because it gets kind of a tannish color.
Right.
It turns into, the water gets darker. So it's starting to cook in like spaghetti. Okay, and the reason why for that, once again, if you don't cook it that way, it's going to become mashed potatoes when you're eating it. So I take off the top. Okay. I have a way of slicing and dicing these babies. I got to sharpen these knives to getting dull. Now, the tomatoes are probably the last item I put only because it's the moistness of the tomato.
Okay.
So, yeah. I sliced it
Yeah, I see
anyways,
that,
so
yeah.
it's easier to, yeah. I still keep them in small chunks.
I told Cody I got this major idea of capturing some up close footage of you using this damn knife and some of the horror stories that you tell as well, like the Victorville shit.
Well, you know, I could, if you like, I can take this tomato and throw it up in the air and slice it while before it hits the plate. I mean,
I don't think the knife's sharp enough for that, but I believe
you're right. You're right. I gotta hold on a second.
That ain't no katana blade right there.
I know, huh? That's what I need. I need to get me some good knives.
Now, I think that's the last thing you need.
Only for cooking.
So if anybody's looking for Danny's Christmas wish list,
I need some knives.
and these things are super cooked, Danny. The water's almost out of here.
Okay, cool. All right.
And that beige tannish color's starting to be there.
Okay, cool. So you see what I'm talking about, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you can turn around and take it and shut it off then.
All right.
Okay.
You want me to add the seasoning to these?
No, I have to drain it first.
Okay. All right, Danny, you gonna get a strainer?
Yep. And
Good, I'm hungry.
What you say?
I said this better be good. I'm hungry.
damn, Dave, that sounds kind of threatening. I know what I do have. So
How's the dishwasher working out for you?
Actually, I haven't used it yet. I don't know how to use a dishwasher.
Oh, that's funny though. That's funny, Dave.
I really don't. I'll be honest with you. I mean, and then again, I don't want to spend no money. It's easier for me to wash it. I'm still old-fashioned, bro. I wash my clothes by hand.
I mean, it looks like a decent dishwasher. Let me say something though, Danny. What you can't do with this is put that dish detergent in there
Right.
and try to run it like that. I learned that the hard way.
Oh, really?
You need a hand with that?
No, I got it. Just got to move that out the way. Yeah. Let that set there and drain.
All right, so Danny's straining the noodles right now. We're going to be adding the seasoning. We're going to be mixing up the tuna fish.
Yeah, we can use the same. Put it right back in there. We're just trying to get rid of the water.
Okay. So you want me to add the seasoning?
No, not yet. Not until we, get it in here.
Sorry.
I want to, no, you're good. What I want to do is make sure that the noodles are right.
I'm never bringing you on another shoot, Dave. You don't know how to act.
Hey, keep asking him if he wants you to mix the damn seasoning in there. You gonna have to worry about the knives.
I didn't know.
Ask him like about.
Hey, you know,
really
the viewers are probably saying, would he really use a knife? Over a cooking show?
You probably do it for a lot less.
Hey, Jan, do you need Joe to mix the seasoning in?
He will now that he wants to mix them. I don't want him to stress out on me.
Danny, I got these 2 seasoning packs open. Can I go ahead and mix this?
I know, huh?
Joe wants to mix the damn seasoning pack so bad. Oh my
Man.
God.
So this is a little unorthodox today, but that's all right though. It's good. We came over here. We get to eat a lunch. We get to eat a lunch meal with Danny.
Joe gets to fulfill his purpose in life by mixing seasoning packs.
Hey Danny, don't pay him no mind, man.
Well, I understand that he got over a serious flu, so he might have did some mental effect. We understand that. But I'm glad.
He's barely holding on to his job right now.
I know, huh?
Look at his
Hey,
face.
that'd be
I get fired every Friday. Every Friday, I had to fire day.
Well, today's Monday, right? Well, we're gonna add Monday on that. Okay. All right. This is what we do. We're all set. Now you can mix the season. Yeah.
I've been waiting.
Yeah. Woo! I'm glad, man. It was getting close. It's getting close.
Dave, do some work. Bring the camera over here.
Actually, I'm gonna have to put the air conditioner on because it's getting heat.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add the seasoning in here. These are the 2 packs of seasoning.
Hey Joe, how'd that feel?
Dave. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and mix this up.
Yeah. I think you should throw another one.
You want 3 in there?
Yeah, 3. The tomatoes is gonna take up. It's gonna absorb it. Not too much. Don't spend too much. Yeah. I mean that's good enough. Not a lot.
Well, I still got some stuff not mixed
Okay.
up. I want to make sure we got it.
We don't want to turn that to mashed potatoes.
Okay. All right, so we got the seasoning pouches mixed up in the noodles. I'm gonna go ahead and start adding the tuna fish like Danny said.
Okay.
So bada bing.
Just put them in chunks first, yeah, and then come back and break it up.
All right, that's 1. I'm putting all of them in there, Danny?
All of them, yeah. We're gonna have meaty. We're gonna have a meat. What is it called? Meat lover. A meat lover
2.
meal.
And here's
Yeah.
the
Okay.
3rd one.
Okay.
All right.
Now chop up the tuna.
Chop it up.
Yeah. Then once you chop it up, spread it.
So we're just gonna mix everything in here right
Yeah.
now. All right, cool deal.
You can throw the pickles in now. You don't want to try not to mix it as much as possible.
Okay, just
Yeah, try to do it quickly, and what happens, it gets really soft.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want mashed potato.
Trying to get all that tuna.
That's why if it stays in little chunks, it's
Okay.
okay. Yeah.
All right, pepperoni next.
Yeah, the pepperoni. There you go. Okay. Spread that. Then the pickles.
I think this is gonna be good.
Yeah. And then what we're gonna do is, for now, let's put this much tomatoes in it.
So about half of them.
No, a little bit more than half. Just see what happens, see how it looks. And we'll have some on the side just in case somebody, you know what I mean?
You gonna eat this, Cody?
I heard the stomach growling.
Cody, you ain't gonna eat
Don't
this.
stun. And you got the McDonald's shirt on too. Look at that. So let me find out. I just noticed that. Look,
That's not a McDonald's shirt. That's
Oh, is it? Oh man, my cat. I'm sorry. That's my cataracts. I got problems. Sorry.
No, it ain't your fault. That's exactly what
No,
it looks like.
I didn't mean to say that, man.
I don't know what it is.
Cody's got me by 50 pounds. I don't want him mad. I'm only joking, bro.
Okay, Danny.
I thought it was a McDonald's from here for a minute. Okay, now tomatoes.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it and then you just spin it. Okay. I try not to get the juice in there because
We don't want it
soggy. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right, tomatoes in
Let's
there.
see how it looks. Okay. Now we'll get some of these items out the way. I'll just pass them to Dave so that we have more room up here. Okay, crackers. And Joe can show you how it is with crackers, how you can put on crackers. In fact, let me get a spoon.
How about the mayonnaise, Danny? Where are we gonna?
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Let me put on mayonnaise. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I'll put it in. You can spin it.
Well, we done made enough food right here to feed an army.
Yeah, but you know what's funny?
An APS
when
army.
you put it on a wrap, it goes really quickly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it does. Okay. Ready?
Yep. There we go.
Yeah. He said there. He didn't measure it. That's my eye. Now, hey, listen. You don't have to have cataracts to see that one.
That's made with love right there, boy. So, folks, this is what we've come up with. This is the filling.
Also, you can use it as a dip. If you're drinking beer, whatever, or company, you can use it as a dip with crackers. That's what Joe was talking about earlier.
Well, let's see what this tastes like. All right. Got a little pickle, a little pepperoni action right there. Got a big old chunk of tuna. I hope I got some tomato right there.
If not, we got some on the side. Okay.
Wow. Wow. No, that's really good.
Hey, I tell you what, and I didn't pay him to say that. that's love.
No, that's good. That's really good. You can definitely taste all the flavors like Danny was explaining earlier. I taste the pepperoni. I taste the pickle. I tasted the tomato. I definitely taste the mayonnaise. Look at Dave. Dave is falling apart over here.
Okay, Dave is making fun of me.
That's all right.
Now he's getting me back because of what did I say?
I'm about to make Dave his rap
Oh, he's
right
back. Okay, here you go. Here's the plate.
now. All right, Dave, here you go.
You start laying them on the plate, shop.
There's one.
Wrap it up.
Dave, here you go. Come get you a
You
wrap.
still remember how to wrap, do you?
So Dave, stay over here. I want you to stay over here and try the wrap out and let us know what you think.
Okay, let me
Am I
move this out
waiting?
the way.
Huh?
Am I waiting?
No, you're going to eat the wrap right now.
Okay, let me get this.
Cody, you going to eat some of this? You said you don't eat tuna fish?
I'll try a little bit of it.
Okay.
Here you go.
Now we could have made you one. That's a lot though.
I'm eating this. This one's
Okay,
mine.
all right. Want you making one? You want a lot or you want? Cause I like making them smaller where you can eat them and they don't go all over the place. You get a plate.
All right, let's check this sucker out right here. What do you think, Dave? I think it's good.
You know, it kind of,
Definitely enough mayo.
yeah. Well, the
I
meals,
think, I think you went a little Puerto Rican on the mayo.
damn. So you know what he's telling me? I screwed up right on TV. Look at that, right on camera. That's okay though. I did it purposely for you. No,
I
so,
think
Good. It's good.
Dave, you done messed up, man.
he sure did. Hey, you know something? Hey, you know something? You're fired. You don't have to wait for Joe. Oh, here you go, Cody.
Dave gets fired. That's what the
You want
news
more?
is
Let me know.
gonna be.
I'm gonna make me one now.
I think it's damn good.
Like I said, the mayonnaise is up to the taster, whoever, because some people like a little bit more mayonnaise, some people like very little. This is really, you gotta, when you do it to your custom, to your like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, me, I like the mayo. I could have went a little less, but I like the mayo.
This is good, Danny. I'm just busting your bubbles.
I hear you. Thank you. No, but it is true. You can, you know what I'm saying? You can put more tomatoes. You can overdo it with tomatoes.
I think the tomatoes really adds
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
With that hot pickle. Oh, that hot pickle. Where's that? Cody, what do you think? Cody's shaking his head. He's about to throw up in his mouth.
Want another one?
Now, Danny, you said that this was like a high protein meal, right? Mm-hmm. And you were eating this like after a workout.
But the thing is, I would, if at that time, probably in prison, I would have made it more diet than I'm just making something
Tasty.
tasty. I would have reduced on the mayonnaise, like Dave said. I would have reduced probably on the sodium.
Yep.
Yeah, on the seasoning.
I'm sweating already.
Yeah, I would have reduced on the pepperoni, especially because pepperoni, of course, the oil, cholesterol is good. It's beef. It has protein, but you got to cut down because of cholesterol. And that's about it. It just would have been a little bit different changes, but you know what I mean?
So, Danny, first and foremost, this was a really awesome meal. I think even better than the meal was having the ability to come over here, kick it with you, eat lunch with you, you know, prepare this meal right along with you, and just get to have you open up a little bit more, and also for people to see, you know, some of the silliness as well. You're a very serious individual. You're somebody that doesn't, you don't play, you don't laugh and joke, but you know you're comfortable enough with us to allow us into your home and to be able to lighten up a little bit. And I think that really was evident in this video.
Well, that's true, Joe. And not only am I comfortable with you, but I became also comfortable with the viewers who follows us, you know. And I also understand you guys been asking for me. I want to thank you for the bottom of my heart that I'm not forgotten. I haven't forgotten you. Honestly, that's what brought me back. Besides the love I got for these guys, I just like to keep in touch with all of you, let you know my progress.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
but we had fun today. I enjoyed it.
And look,
it was funny. Yeah.
Again, I can't thank you enough for being willing to do this cooking video. We've never done one of these with you before, so there's really no way to gauge how it's going to go as we're putting it together. But one thing I also need to address, I didn't even talk about this at all in this video, is look at Danny repping for APS. Danny got the orange on. He got the After Prison Show on today. Shout out to Danny, man. Danny is official. Look, thanks to all of you for taking the time to check this video out. I do hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you did, please leave a like. Leave a like for more Danny. I think that's a good way to word it. Again, Danny, thank you. Awesome meal. And I'm looking forward to cooking another meal with you and seeing one of these Spanish meals that you're going to be able to put together for us. I think that's going to be really awesome.
We can do Spanish. We'll try Spanish. If we go again to another one, maybe an Italian meal. Polynesian. I'm cook. I can cook. I never said this, but I took culinary arts. I also bake.
Definitely looking forward to see what we're able to put together next with you, Danny.
That sounds good. Looking forward to it.